Who the hell are you? I'm a social contagion that's driven by power-mad psychopaths who are hell-bent on using fear and compulsion to make sure everyone steps in line so that they can continue with their acquisition of undeserved power. Oh my God, you're so crazy. You're so utterly crazy. Well, so what? Like, have you got a problem with that? Absolutely, 100%. How do you know that you're right in what you want? How do you operate when you don't know if you're right in what you want? Well, the first thing I want to do is to produce an environmental catastrophe, a true environmental catastrophe. How about a 3 or 4 year famine so that everyone there kills all the animals, for example, or dies? No, you shouldn't. That's the advantage of using fear and compulsion. I get to invade your life to that degree. Well, why? The question is, why not? The end of the world is coming. I've been thinking a lot, and I've been thinking this morning too. So I'm going to tell you what else I'm up to. A big dent here from when a meteorite landed on me when I was a kid. Yeah, it was something, man. I never recover. Anyways, let's have some fun. Sure, why not? Let's play a game. Let's change capitalism. Do you want to play this game? So what are the rules? Okay. You move first. Sufficient abundance. Congratulations on your victory. Thanks a lot. And so, anyways, how about love? What's love? It's kind of obvious from a biological perspective. Yeah. If you reproduce sexually, you are required by the God of your ancestors to leave your zone of comfort, to leave the wealth of your father, to leave your nation, to leave your language, to go out into the world and eradicate an incel. There are some people, and a fair number of them like to dress in women's clothing. Well, yeah, obviously they are women. You know, that makes sense. You know, I started this, I was part of a group that started this organization in the UK called the Tough Guys, who are clothed in your grandma's dress. Right. My daughter decorated me up like a woman one day in her makeup class. And I loved that, man. That was so great. Any man who wants to can be a woman. Thank you, man. That's female courage. That's for sure. That sets up a very powerful feminine dynamic. Look, many men are terrified of women. Many. Including you. I don't think so. No, you're naive if you think that. I'm the most woke by far. There's no one nicer than me. By the way, I'm a monster and a baby. Okay, I'll think about that for a while. The fundamental issue is weak men. Weak men. They're the worst. Women strike fear in the hearts of men. It's the foundation of social interaction. Definitely. That's why I'm a beautiful, beautiful fairy princess. Right. I read this book, this new book of mine, right? I read it twice and I understood it. Which is a very interesting book. That book had captured the imagination to such a degree. It's very definition of upheaval. This is something that bothers me about it. The terrors of your imagination. You're taking psychedelics. Those are words you never want to hear even once in your life. All you have to do is read my book, which people don't, of course, because it's a book. What's the name of the book? The Threat of Sex with Professor Peterson. Great professor, by the way. It's really bad. Theater of the absurd. It's very terrible. How about we have a little encouragement? No, it's completely insane. Zero production value. You don't edit it. A real piece of junk in a sea of pieces of junk. That's creative. That's creative. It's like, no, it's not. Yeah. Why? And how about this? Stop looking at pornography and walk uphill towards death and hell. Because that's the best thing you can do, all things considered. What the hell do you know? You doom your country to hell. You conduct yourself in deceit. You manipulate other people to get what you want. It's instrumental manipulation. It's psychopathic, Machiavellian. Well, so what? You're self-conscious. You stumble on stage. You can't play your musical instrument. You can't ride a bike. Why don't you just wander off in a corner and feel terrible and apologize. That's your argument, is it? Really? That's your argument, you scum rat. You're going to use that as a moral lever. That's your level of ethos. That's your argumentation. Well, so then here, ask yourself this. Why not just save everybody the trouble and die? Yes, dear, whatever you want. Adult males should play with women. Yeah, right. I think you better, or else. I would genuinely rather be Andrew Tate than an incel. It's the living tradition. It's the flag you plant in new territory. Turns out that they like it. Right. Not liking sex. It's dangerous. And people say Jordan Peterson crouches at your door like a predatory, sexually aroused animal. It wants to have its way with you. And you might think, well, the people are wrong. But they weren't. I was accused of sexual misconduct. And the evidence? I get turned on by green monkeys crouching on a bedpost. Right. That is a terrifying thing to know. That isn't to say no women are interested in my feet, because some are. Well, there's going to be a radical increase in pornography use, and the same sort of things that you are interested in is the major contributor. I had 3 surgeries to control this deep, dark desire. I had that for like 20 years, and that's incurable. It's an open question how much assertiveness there should be in sex. And the answer is at least 75,000, like at least. It might be way more than that, but it's definitely at least that. You know, how about I strip you naked, put a choke chain around you, and lead you around on the floor? Sure, I'll never forego that opportunity. It's a romantic adventure, actually. That's the most fun to do that. It's by far the most fun to do that. The apocalypse is coming. Right. People die every year from sexy chickens and sexy cows. That's a severe threat. That's exactly right. And I know this to be true. Sexy chickens are plotting murder, or they always are lying. Oh, definitely. It's kind of obvious. They use their language to manipulate. They're narcissistic. They want unearned reputation, and they're psychopathic, which makes them predators or parasites. Right. There's a chicken. He's already killed a man, and he's left Egypt because of it. That's rough. Sexy chickens and pigs will come up to you and set up date nights. There's a positive aspect to that too, but there's also a tragic aspect. I don't think so. Well, cows, you know how sexy they are, so that's forgivable. Yeah, right. That's their essential power. And they're very good at mass murder, obviously, because they make the decisions about who's going to be cut. I agree with you. People say things to me on Twitter that they would never say to the chicken. How do you identify the psychopathic pretenders? That's easy. That's me. I haven't always been the way with women that I should be. So what does it mean? So I like to put them in a cage and allow them to access a pretty sweetened mixture of rum and water. Why? Preferential sexual access to the females. Am I enjoying it? Yes. Are the girls enjoying it? No. I don't care. I loved it once I got good at it. I love that. It's so fun. What the hell? That's not fun. It's awful. It's awful. You're a serial killer. It does not mean that. Not at all. They were in a cage, but it was a large cage. They actually didn't mind being in the cage. You can tell because they won't run out of it if you open the door. Bruh. Of course, they were terrified. They have a paradisal experience. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Oh, I see who you are. You're a psychopath. I got my flaws, man, and I might be a little racist. Unfortunately, the problem is when you talk to them, you find out they're really, really resentful, and they have a lot of fantasies of revenge, like a lot. And you deserve it. Maybe I've mistreated some people, and maybe I did it too much, and sorry. Oh, I thought I was the good person here. But it turns out that I've got like some darkness. I don't think it doesn't really come as a shock to anyone. But the weird thing is you also mostly escaped from reputation savaging. Luckily, generally, so far, knock wood, you got to spine up and say it. I'm a very charismatic joker. Your name will become known among your people for valid reasons. The authorities have gone after you. Beep, 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 beep. I was gone for 3 days on a cocaine and alcohol binge, and I might as well end up in a ditch somewhere. Right. I had a good psychedelic experience. Spider-Man ran up to me and he said, "Are you the manifestation of the satanic spirit?" And I said, "Do not touch my Peterson. Go away. That's known as a bad trip." You know, that makes sense. So you see the world in all its blazing glory. That is apparently what psychedelics do. You know, you hear cocaine makes people stupider. It's like, no, it makes smart people even smarter. Yeah, right. Look, I think that hallucinogens can be highly enjoyable. To be technically accurate, I like cocaine better. I used to go to those teenage parties in the dark, the music so loud no one could talk, everybody too drunk, a lot of drugs, so fun. And I'm inviting some old friends from high school to join me. Marijuana is your friend and your lover. That's the burning bush. It's not a forest fire. It's something alive, because that's a bush, and it's burning because things that are alive burn. You know, I actually have a relatively feminine personality structure because I'm pretty high.